Okay, we're going to get started. If folks can make their way back to their seat, please. So at this time, we're going to cover the theme and keynote speech. Remember, our theme is Guided by Culture, Focused on Tomorrow. And it's my honor to welcome today's keynote speakers who will help us reflect on where we come from, celebrate our rich cultural heritage, and guide us on how to preserve it for future generations. We're honored to welcome my twin, they say, Taa'ąįį. Either he's confused for me or I'm confused for him, although it's been a few years, so maybe we're getting past that. And then also his daughters, Nane Esh and Cha'el Lil, as well as Reverend Dr. Trimble Gilbert, our first traditional chief, as our keynote speakers for the 2025 annual convention and full board of directors meeting, as well as, I believe, if I get this right, translator Mary Rose, who will help translate, as they'll be doing a lot of the keynote in their own language. So let's welcome them to the stage, please.
Shalak nai, Chukchangunzi, Chokit, Dinan Jit, Hekwai Trimble Gilbert, Gwich'in Sal, Gehechia. I Trimble Chokit Gehechia, I Van Jit, Mary Rose Gamboa, Bean Tai, what's unlily, I Van Jit Lichte de Helia.
I spoke a little bit this morning to people from everywhere. And whatever is in my mind is, I try not to change it.
Oh, sorry. Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa Gilbert althot I K'yàa Gilei I Kwa.
Yeah, no, Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa, Trimble.
Kind of mixed up. Well, I was kind of a little bit mixed up with that. Other day, without practice, and then they just put me here and there, and then without practice, it's kind of hard for me. Oh. Yeah, Chukwan. Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa. Kanta Chuksa Kontatan Chanaita del Kegitoncha. I get it, Zanucha, Genjamasit Honohoina.
I spoke a little bit this morning. There was only a few people here, but now it looked like there's more people here, so I'm happy that you're all here.
Well, you know that this program is kind of, I want to do it for many years to help anybody work on cultures. I'm learning and I want to help.
I've been wanting to do this for a long time. This project that we are doing, this culture, and by learning it and living it, the way of our life.
Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa, Trimble.
One take Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa Gwich'in lein kwana rishi takta kasante ka Yukon Flat leine treihe shit anchana Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa kinshi eine shiki takta senithan.
I spoke in Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa this morning, but there was only a few people, so I thought that maybe there were more here from the Yukon Flats who understands me.
Di kinchik is around Let's go on. Di kinchik is around that sak zat hichtia kurike dithan and ditik chatai kona chanchana ko kasante I said we ko halta kuriko and ditik kasante.
Whenever there's our language teaching, I love to be there. From what I learned from our elders in the past, I want to share it.
Di kinchik ha kontai kuinzanchi di yinchi lakha the city kutlia te kuia te kuri shukurela go
We talk our language and to know, and we hear it, and we have to do it with love and kindness.
the shikinchik kanishita Canada I every month would take on a called Scotsy former person and shikinchik kwela tatsakotaki shi.
I speak my language and some of the Canadian that speaks Gwich'in, they called me all the time.
I radio station that only Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa kanishita training Canada Gwich'in takwela takotsa kinshita 1975 they got some
Since 1975, I've been talking to them through the radio station for all the kids in the Canadian side would understand and listen to it.
It's chukla gwintro chatay ko na di kinchika kan tay na kinsinay sa chukin sa kali.
Today, a lot of our elders that used to speak in the future, they're becoming less speakers.
It's train they see the shakanti china kweta takisa ka kinsi ka kinchika.
When we were growing up, our elders speaks to us in our language all the time.
It's Chugiaga Yvonne, so my granddaughter Jewel, I know Chakawaku Takwatiaku, I Nekuta that Chikjit that Gwich'in.
Now, I work with Yvonne and my granddaughter Jewel working on the language. I have to do that.
Die kunstje haar kuintaisi etlada Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa anta chiti te ku enda tsak ke shida ta tsakuri tsakratai kuna anta chukvano tikya kuri kuri shida trina na tiki tsakha.
When we speak our language, we know who we are. And we are what our language is what we are.
That Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa kurantai ai titi nitsin ang katakontai isikuan tatsaka kuintai.
We live our way of life as Dinjii Zhuh, and we know all about how we live.
Ada trinani sida Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa kuri tisa kaki shijine ai te kuheia tatsak kuida taktana kokontak ansa natsa sa kuisi tikera hantia sa kuisi tisa kaki shi.
I said when I was a kid, the elders always talked to us, and they talk to us, and the language is how we need to take care of ourselves as a native.
On the articles in Gwich'in, about 75 years articles Gwich'in, and the Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa kuri Gwich'in.
I've been living in Arctic Village for 75 years, and I only live our traditional ways.
Dinjii Zhuh series trigotsi. The train Kora Tan. And even Jisit Literasi, 18 years, the spirit, dancing spirit in Chukutokotan, Ezektai train, and I couldn't, you can't need that one train, and I couldn't second a she.
We only eat our native food, and so we teach the kids. We teach the kids all the time. We teach the kids to play music with fiddle, with the dancing with the spirit, and I helped them play the fiddle with that.
Just a quick day that lucky Jata Shukurante, my wife, trained in a Hago Chukura, and Jata Nashon Jata take wicked kushit.
That's the way we live, and so my wife and I, with that we have a long life.
So, one day, the 1885 day retired athlete Kuka Achakoy Nagatri, I could so Nathan.
I've retired from TV and all that stuff, but I still don't want to let it go, and I want to keep helping.
So Yaga, the Chetiti. Your name?
Not Neej.
Naen?
Not Neej.
And she spent winter article is good 1 year good 3 day Sachtra kinetic as a cost han and got his Allah.
This girl right here had lived in Arctic Village for 2 years, and she always goes out getting wood for me, and that's how I was teaching her.
As Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa gets often, I just choose the second constant, and Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa got there, and I can just so see, I contact or see anything I get here, so that's second.
I teach Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa, and I teach what I know. And I want to do more, but there are times when I don't feel very well.
And so, one dignity here next 4 years or more, they go here, go and Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa. And so, Narari, or near Hital, the Nasa, the Shatratli, Sukere, and Narari, I contact around Tanjika, Gweza.
What they talk about this morning, we have to do for the next 4 years, like the fishing and hunting, and I want us all to teach the kids.
Trinyanaysa, Dinjii, Natsasa Kontai, Trinyan Salago, Natsasa Korantai, Dinjii Hakintai. Dinjii Version Chata Hakintai. And I could go around Tandai Kunzi Sakoski.
The kids, they know a person, how a person lives, and if a person has a good life. So we need to teach our kids more on that.
Trinyanaysa, Trin Saatshi as a Trinyan. Ete Queensland, Trinyan Tatsak ete Queensland, and the Kunete the Koski, and the Satana San Niki Hitala, Kotsar Naka Kinte.
Kids, me and my wife, we love all the kids, and they listen when we talk to them. And when we speak to them, they listen.
What you can't flat Gwich'in and downriver that Trinyan I later I know Titi to go and take a venture to go in. I do ye a hokorona. Just a Kuriko to in Chaco, I Gekora Tanji.
For Gwich'in and downriver, those kids, what we do for them. And we won't let that go.
The Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa the Taka Kinte, Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa Lisa Salista Quinte, the Taka.
We are Dinjii Zhuh, and as a Dinjii Zhuh, we all know each other.
Ja, dat sak Dinjii Zhuh na Lisa sa Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa.
We are all Dinjii Zhuh, and we're all kind to each other.
Ja, net zo neerhetel dat sak. Die kon kwijt kon neerhetel dat sak. Niet eraan she has een doe kon in reishi.
Wherever we all go, we all take care of each other.
Ja, la raad den chiti in kote ka doe deze kort second Jezus.
Even if we don't have any money, we won't starve.
I guess 1,000 years. Den niet eraan and essential respect in I can just so thing.
For thousands of years, we've been taking care of each other, and I'm so happy for that. And we
That's
take
all.
care of each other.
That's also Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa not angel. I could get gold at lane, I could get inches of the train and I.
You want to translate that? I missed it.
Oh, I wasn't listening.
Oh,
Chant inyala, Trimble. Chant inyala.
Oh, not
today, not right.
not also take antica and Gilly train and Nick around sharing.
So how we treat each other and how we live with each other and how we take care of each other, the kids sees us.
I just Dinjii Zhuh night release at the near soon chat of Virginia. And just such a conta in 1,000 years at
I say we're Dinjii Zhuh, and that's how we live in. That's how we live for thousands of years. And that's how we been doing it for thousands of years.
It's just a quite secret yaga even what good to question and you. A call at Lane had to go to good to question Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa she that Nicolas and Quagol and then.
That's all I'm gonna say, and then there's people here that works for language for a long time, and then we need to listen to them too.
It's just a quite secret.
That's all.
Chat. Trimble, Danya, Genjit, Haitni, Than. Gwich'in Gwinzi. Chanja, Ch'igiiontà, K'yàa, Nakhwan Datak, Naholin, Genjit, Shoithli.
I appreciate the words that Trimble shared with us. Good afternoon, elders, chiefs, youth, and all. It is good to see you.
Shoji, Taa'ąįį Ch'igiiontà Oji. Mashank Ogut's Anisha, Gwich'in Nats I Haithli. Gwich'in Nahuat's Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa.
My name is Taa'ąįį Ch'igiiontà. I come from Arctic Village. I'm Gwich'in and of the Natsai clan. Today I'll speak to you all in my language.
Shichi Kit Nana is Vijuj Lil Shenjit Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa one of the Athlete Gehelia.
My oldest daughter, Taa'ąįį, and her younger sister will translate for me from Gwich'in to English.
Ne gwadada ne kwatai Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa gogwa han Gwich'in I gech an go shoalli.
They have been studying our language for 2 years and they are learning quickly. I'm proud of them.
Jugdrin and jit gwyn ait gogwahya.
They worked hard to prepare for today.
Hishin light Peter Sam Alexander ha di ginjik go gahtan gen jit haitni than.
I'm grateful to Hishinlight Peter and Sam Alexander for helping teach them our language.
Dinjii nai jut agova gondak.
He is asking us to introduce ourselves. Shiju, Nunjokid.
Shoji Eloji, Shahani Voji Ine Bigeoji, Jit Shiti Taa'ąįį Ch'igiiontà Dinjii Shiaranai Shanto Arizona Bashrink O Gwich'in ga Shijak Anai ha Tanana Gwich'in Dinjii I Genjit Height Nathan. My name is My name is Chelil. My mom is Ine Bigay, and this is my dad, Taa'ąįį. My parents are from Arctic Village in Shanto, Arizona, and I'm Gwich'in and Navajo, and for that I'm proud.
Shoji Natnaej Peter Oji, Jit Shiju Chelil, Shia Hanai Vikit Dinjii. I shunt net Gwich'in Dine Gwich'in Isli. Ne Gwadala Dai Vashrink O or Gwich'in ga Juk Tanan Gwich'in. Get Tanje Gwacho Gwishit Gogwal. My name is Nana Ej Peter, and this is my younger sister. My parents are the same as hers. I lived the past 2 years up in Vashrink-O, and now I live in Fairbanks, where I study at the university. Masip.
Hekwai Brian Ridley hai natsa adagoran dait yenda de gwahe agora in natsa de than genjit gi he shats angul say.
Oh. Chief Brian Ridley, thank you for inviting me to share my thoughts on being guided by our culture and looking towards the future.
Natsa dinki that okit gwin sal gegohaldak. Anchorage Tanan Vashrink Ogwa and Dinki that Shahan Adeline Peter Raboff Dahaji Gwinzi Dinki Dinathat.
First, I'll share a little bit about how I was raised. I grew up between Anchorage, Fairbanks, and Arctic Village. My mother, Adeline, raised us well as a single mother.
I Chan Shin I Thakucha Je Shitu Catherine Peters Mary Fields Vijek Naigo Vagwichi.
I also stayed for a summer in Fort Yukon with my grandmother, Catherine Peter, and Mary Fields' family.
Nijin I Tsalday on Devershrink Ogwaan Shitsi Stephen Sehot She Walter Govaidi Jagwatsal Gwijit Grinchi.
When I was little, I lived with my grandfathers, Stephen Serro and Uncle Walter up in Arctic Village. We lived in a small cabin.
Ijikunad day Vashrink Ogwaan Gwijit Chunjan in light Janet Rahdrikwa.
Back in those days, we didn't have any running water or electricity.
Vashrink Ogwaan.
In Arctic Village.
Juk ay he Gwijit Chunjan in Laikwa.
We still don't have any running water.
Ijit day chan Dinjii the tak di ginjik agagin he ga deets at Dinjii Zhuh agagin het kwa.
Back then, all the people spoke our language, but they didn't speak Gwich'in to us.
I gech an nijin Dinjii di lit day Dinjii Zhuh agi he kwa ga nuts at di ginjik agi he ga o shandai ni than.
Because of that, when I became an adult, I was not able to speak Gwich'in, but I wanted to know how to speak our language.
I nijin gwats an go hal gwan ke gwalya. Get or a tanje gwacho gwizit Lillian Garnett o kit Dinjii Zhuh age sholtin.
So I looked for a place to study. I first learned Gwich'in from Lillian Garnett at the university.
Gwynzi a shol ya shonya gwynzi ge sholtin ga ein genjik gwynzi ge do dal tent kwa.
She wanted me to do good, and she taught me well, but after that, I didn't continue learning.
Ein 2017 day chan he Dinjii Zhuh agagwal shek I hishin lai what's an go gwadal Ijit day what's an gwanda gwynzi ge hihya genjik gagwal
And then, in 2017, I again started to study Gwich'in from my Aunt Hishinlight. From that time, I knew I had to keep studying to become a good speaker.
Nijin gwich ad go ya gwin dan day gen jit gwin I gwit agora in.
When we want something, we have to work hard for it.
Aint jat heights at dinjik and jit knowledge read day di ginjik and jit gwanda chagos ya ni than segwik aljik.
Then, that fall, when I was moose hunting, I realized I wanted to do more for our language.
Negwadada do gwin that day gwats an di ginjik a gwal gwal tan sa gwal in. I geh an juk Dinjii Zhuh gwin salgihi ga I hego gwal
For the past 4 years, I have continued to learn, teach, and work on our language. Because of that, I can now speak some Gwich'in, but I'm still learning.
Chelil hai tinya. Shintak
Nakwa.
hai han hai tinya.
Slow?
Aha. Hai tinya kunzi.
We're like this.
I
Oh.
Dinjii nai da tak ju ge sholtin sago ven jit hai ni than.
I am grateful to everyone who has helped teach me.
Paul Williams Sr. William Olu Tritha di ginjik et ogora in ditaginya gen jit gone gondai ni than. Jitti gina gandai da tak dinan ego gwin I gen jit height in than.
I want us to remember two speakers who have been part of our work, the late Paul Williams Sr. and William Olu Tritt. They shared their knowledge with us. For that, we are grateful.
Go ven jit leg when salt oho cha kwa.
Let's take a moment of silence for them.
Negwadada tikwin that day. Ju Dinjii Zhuh agin he nai ni sa chagora in genjit height ni than. Trimble Gilbert, Kathy Tritt, Mildred Allen, Florence Newman, Mary Fields, Paul Williams Jr., Caroline Tritt Frank, Virginia Peter, Frida Joseph, Margaret Henry John, Mary Rose Gamboa.
I also want to express gratitude to this group of speakers who have been working with us for the past 3 years.
I don't think you need us to translate the names.
Negwadada ihlakwijit da tak Kathy Tritt Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa. What's on gwint o go without Kathy hi
For one entire year, I spoke with Kathy Tritt and Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa. I learned a lot from her. Thank you, Kathy.
Negwadada tikwin that jit Trimble within just hagwint o gesholtin Trimble hey.
Over the past 3 years, I've depended on Trimble, and he taught me a lot. Thank you, Trimble.
Mary Rose G Ginji Shitinya gen jit haitni thun.
And I'm grateful for Mary Rose for helping me with this speech.
Jitti et agora ha ya get da chirihendal gen jit ni thought agora ha ya gujri.
In order to accomplish our goals, we have to work together.
Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa D2 nai ha yena go tai gunjik eda gogora e. Ejit nai natsa Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa gogora e gut egwa cha. Trimble jana.
Trimble has said, we are learning to walk along the trail of our ancestral ways. We need to teach the young how to be Native people.
Di ginjik kwai agora ha e genjik gora tsi jigwaheza.
It is good for us to make time to learn our languages.
Nan cut natsa edra in gogora e gora tsi gut egwan cha. Natsa narajrit a flukkeri in gogora ha e. Natsa nilit a fluk gait a gujigurli.
It is good to make time to learn how to survive from the land, to learn to hunt and harvest, and how to dry and store meat and fish.
Natsa chada cha hit a kechra kai gogora e gut egwan cha. Gwach anara jia den jit hat again jit.
We need to learn to tan hides and sew our own clothing.
Ji natsa edra in ga gwindai kwai ye na dai gwats unbit egwan cha.
This knowledge has been critical to our survival for thousands of years.
Dula chun he I natsa edra in ga gwindai kwai taraha cha.
And it may become critical again.
I geh an digi nai gogora e gut egwan cha. Jiga gwindai kwai natsa edra in ha edit aigwai.
Because of that, we need to make sure to teach our children. Our knowledge and ability to survive from the land keeps us strong.
Llite gwydli ha taigwyn jik in ha ji gai gwahatset oncha. Chech kwai Peter John minto gwats anshakwandak.
The late Chief Peter John of Minto told me, you have to choose to stay on the path that was meant for you.
Jukjat yenda degwahech aga gwindai kwa. Goga jut gwinch aga gwindai. I geh an rahan jat kwa.
Right now, we are in a time when we don't know what is coming in the future. However, we know who we are, so we don't need to be afraid.
D2 nai ha yeni go gwan tri gwik ego jil. Ga tain gwinzit en agidal.
Our ancestors went through hard times before and they found a way forward.
Ain't dinant I tai gwinzi gogora ha. Di gwandai chihlak nilik et inch ha. Nihlan it's a gwahenjag with egwancha.
It is now our turn to find a way forward. We need to work together like we have one mind.
Ga gwinzi nihlag with itagora ha ya genjit ne riji with egwancha.
But for us to work together, we need to heal together.
Die hunt D2 nai Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa go hi kwa Dinjii Zhuh o hi kwa onch go vainya. I geh an gwin le hein jit again that ginagande kwa.
Our parents and grandparents were told that it was not okay to speak our language and to be who they were as Native people. That caused a lot of pain and confusion.
Ain't di Juan Die han nai yani gwen le hein jit again that ginagande qua Gwich'in. Trinere he dat dit aigwan liha dit si dit su nai go kit tinagwahecha.
Now we have to recover from this hurt and become strong people as our ancestors were long ago.
Juk Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa gwindait o lit on chakwa. Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa ninjit aradat daikunzi.
As Native people, we know it is right for us to be who we are. It is good to think with an Indigenous mindset.
Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa ji Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa gogora egut egwancha. Trimble shagwandak.
Trimble has told me that to be Native people, we have to practice being Native people.
Nijint edra indai nerijit at dilak night ahil Jit nijin di Gwich'in dat o dilak night an di jitgwandai didlit.
When we live our ways of life, we heal and respect all our relations. This is when the knowledge and values of our people become alive within us.
Aint nan dilu kat eld oncha.
Then we have solid ground to walk on.
Di jin di Gwich'in di drit at di nan quaik era tiha di aigwanli. Di tightnin ait at di tightgun qua hagwahil Adak around tigut egwancha.
We have strength from taking care of our body, mind, heart, and spirit. Our physical strength and health are very important. We need to take care of ourselves.
Quaik it Gwich'in haitlak and liha di aigwanli.
We have strength being in community with one another.
Nijin adak around ti di quaik it's at di jack nai and jit de gwahe go Gwich'in de Gwich'in gain jit gwinzi lik world jik.
When we take care of ourselves and are responsible to our family and community, we are well prepared.
Ditsu nai gogo hendai and jit nit it's a gift that I can jeep of one tree. Ne jen did chi nai and jit nun chu nin quai ha gunzik gahti.
Our ancestors had to fight for their survival. They protected the land, animals, and water for future generations.
Ji chun het lok ja dinago ya.
We need to do this once again.
Ju luk cho vatsai di nun chuk gahti and jit go sho asli.
I am grateful to those who have been working for the protection of our salmon, caribou, lands, and water.
Neriji lak helia ganjik with it the goro ya.
Let's work towards healing and unity.
Nijin gurantai dai tatak chichik with it the gora in.
We all make mistakes. This is part of life.
Nijin chichik with it the gora in dai ginagwan dai a quinzit guheya ganjit and a reedal.
We need to acknowledge our mistakes, learn from them, and then go on a better path.
Diginjik agora et and rijit oncha.
Learning our language is healing.
Ditsu hajitiga gin dait at the gi in agora et nerijit oncha.
Learning the skills and knowledge from our ancestors is healing.
Jut in li agora et nerijit oncha.
Learning who we are is healing.
Neriji Gwich'in get he gwizut in den jit o an gwahinli. Gwich'in nithen jit jad de Gwich'in.
As we learn, as we heal, let us learn to forgive ourselves and others.
Ich lakhan fadnai. Goga ki lane du yeh flanai.
A single arrow can be easily broken. However, a bundle of arrows is unbreakable.
Jukshchi nai gigahehia.
My daughters will now speak.
I chun Mildred Allen go Dinjii Kwai Lita de Dili gan Jitshinya Haitni Thun.
I'm thankful to Mildred for helping me translate their speeches.
Chelil Nanchokit Ginhi.
Hello. Sheji Shanjitsi te dehelia.
My older sister will translate for me.
Ne godadat ne kwai gwin that dai Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa gogwal e. Goga nijinit sal dai dija gwjit ginji let grin het.
I have been studying the Gwich'in language for 2 years. However, when I was young, we spoke a few words at home.
Nats a grandai digenjik shuhach elect a edra kai ejik ishin tatak gogwal e shragwal dan.
Learning our culture, to speak, to sing, to drum, to sew, has always felt right for me.
Drin gwede tak gweda ge tak chineshinde. Ga ji quaid ishin tatak shat aiva negwilik.
Throughout the day, lots of things can be draining for me. But these things always return my energy.
Ej alkaids at nagai ha chanejit sia shashoncha. I ej in idil seeds at shagwacha ha shagai alsi get ethan.
Sewing and beading is fun for me because I like being able to create my own outfits and jewelry.
Shijek at shijanai ha jadik alkai govent esi genjit choisi.
I also enjoy being able to gift my friends and family things that I made just for them.
Gwynleg gwich genjit digenjik goihet nithan ga shit ethan ayenda shigina yenjit gwandat hishia.
There are many things that make me want to speak Gwich'in, but the thing that really motivates me is the thought of my future children.
She aidet ha gedotin ga gedan dan gogo het gavoinia.
I want them to be able to speak without having to study as much as I've had to.
Digenjik okit go he gavoinia.
I want Gwich'in to be their first language.
Digenjik gogra gwich gwensid gra in. Sia gwich gwehil e.
It takes a lot of discipline to learn our language. I know it's important work.
O ok sheji va gihi shonch ye annai de gwinia gagin dai kwa.
And it's fun to talk with my older sister in public without other people understanding.
Goga gwijik shashonch yenda gweda dinjinai ha shiginjik goihet nithan.
While this is fun, in the future, I would like to speak my language with many people.
Nats grandai chadza shuhach elek ej kai narajri suk keri in digenjik ise agra e yenda genjik okit go ig gohezia.
Learning our culture, to dance, to sing, to sew, to hunt and fish, to speak one of our languages, is important for our future.
Akwat anja ejit osi gwik'it ahoya genjit jugjat ahoin kwaik'it gwejit anja hele nai hedi hagilki.
Whether you're old or young, it's never too late to begin. Now is the time while we still have knowledgeable elders in our communities.
Jukjun no hua ginjik nizi dalsai genjit se inisi Hi,
Today, I'm humbled to get to share a few words with you. Thank you.
should she? It's her now.
Shiti shenjit slite de helia.
My father will translate for me.
Ne guadada do guana dai itsal ijit o kitvat sai dolke.
4 years ago, when I was younger, I shot my first caribou.
Shiti shi ha su da guats a hajil.
My father and I went up to the White Mountains.
Unde vats I le nalsia. Vats I chislak nishels in ga hindi kwa.
I saw many caribou up there. One caribou saw me, but she stayed right where she was.
Ji vats I dolke. Nals a go guadal e.
I shot this caribou and learned to butcher.
Eint dije gwit a hardly o ok shalak nai nili te dili.
After that, we brought it home, and I passed the meat out to all of our relatives.
Vatsai vande jit nalth indai, najat kwa, ijit ganaldai, ijit shint edachi gashandai.
I remember looking into the eyes of this caribou, and I could see that she was not scared. I knew that she was giving herself to me.
Yena ditsu nai nat gwikaraha ta dit ahagagonya.
These are the relationships that our ancestors left for us to take care of.
Ijit gwanadai vashank o gwahich genjit gwat hisha gashandai. Nat net it Gwich'in Gwich'in gashahatai genjit. Nant Gwich'in she tan head dahalya. Chijinai ha gogwantri get erheda.
At that time, I knew that I would move to Arctic Village and learn how to be a Netset Gwich'in person, how to live with the land and rely on myself and others, and how to make it through difficult times.
Shat I ha chagoy tant chagoy di dai. Nijin ook dinan kat di dai. Shanli ha ditsu ditsi night ed aga in Gwich'in. Dinan haj ithak ithi. Ijit dai shijit sineh dun go ai.
When I struggle with depression and anxiety, but when I am on the land using my hands the same way that our ancestors did to survive, becoming one with the land, it is there that I feel peace within myself.
Diginjik nat agorandai gogwal genjit se in ithi. Dinjii injit il go ai kwa. Ge tak go guantri.
I am so thankful to be able to learn by living in our language and our culture, but this is not always easy or accessible for all of our people.
Yena gwin dat gwin le gwizu go gwahya. Nat gorandai gwiti andiga e. Yenda chehe da gwats o hai go ai. Jiti gwinzi tigwahe ya.
Our history of colonization and intergenerational trauma has caused us immeasurable pain and grief. This can limit our thoughts on what we are able to accomplish.
Nat ninjit ra dat diginjik vat ai gwanli. Yenda genjit jat dirahe akwat anjat gwit egwant kwa. Dit ai ha gwidarahe da.
Our thoughts and our words are powerful. We do not have to feel stuck or scared about our future and the challenges it will hold. With strength, we will make our way forward.
Di huan gwindan yenda genjit gwinsi ginit or ha that girahe ha. Gwich'in.
Aha, kunzit inya. We can choose to speak and think in thoughtful and empowering ways for our future.
I shahanne kwai ju Velma Wallace diantro go Gwich'in ta nithlaj a go Gwich'in go Gwich'in genjit.
The two old women that Velma Wallace wrote about saw each other in their difficult time and chose to work together and use the power of their thoughts to survive.
Juk di hwant di danagait onch a. Suk cho va kwa gwili ta chu cho katri cho legi I. Suk ja angati ta nan kat the tak ne gwahwai geh an.
Right now, we are starving too. The salmon are dying and they are threatened by trawlers, large companies, and climate change.
I geh an shidri thelnai. Eat sal dai you conject he hai su and at se she in shashronj a. Shitit at she I nai suk cho tri cho jit de da I nege da go hul in.
This breaks my heart because when I was small, I was happiest playing on the mud banks of the Yukon River, waiting for my dad and uncles to come back with our boat full of king salmon.
Juk inja didlit yana dai Gwich'in suk injit inja shri onta she oita kwa.
Now I have become a woman and do not hold the fish knife that the women of our past held.
Nut a nitha Gwich'in agora hatya. Nijit al govenjit nijint inja godlit you conjik sukcho git Gagahin died onja.
How will we work together for our girls so that when they become women, they will know what it means to live a life of cutting salmon on the banks of the Yukon River?
Nijinat a kinda hit isha sukcho vatsai nan chu da kat I vit egwin dan sha da I.
When I think of being guided by our culture, I think of my love for the salmon, the caribou, the land, water, and the crisp air of the mountains.
I nun nin chu ha nat at guarandai de ge di goa tan. She I nat edera in jud icha. Yenda neje ne digi go Gwich'in dai genjit nijit e halthat.
I think of how the land, animals, and water tell me and how they persist that I too must fight for my culture, my identity, and the life of future generations.
Ji shigin jik se agwal ni than net I Gwich'in. Ji hat nat guarandai dak gorota. Sheet ethan Gwehezia genjit Gwich'in.
I have been choosing to learn one of my languages, Taa'ąįį Ch'igiiontà. In this way, I have been choosing to keep my culture alive.
Diginjik agwara dai hanaran dait dit I ha igwi in gwit igwant get tan Sam Janya.
Our language teacher, Sam, says that when we are studying our language, motivation and confidence are what we need.
Nijint ijuk agwara in dait ju get di noah tan nai di shanja goki gwanli kwaha.
When we make mistakes, we are fortunate to have mentors who are patient and correct us with care without frustration or anger.
Inin night gwinzi grin hi gwihil jihad ejit nai nat grandait diginjik ha gahunta.
Speaking kind to young ones is important. In this way, we motivate our younger people to ground themselves in culture and language.
Ejit nai tolki. Yukonjik sukcho chiti. Nahwa ginjik gohi. Nijik anai haj adaj ahi. Yendaj anjahuthya te haigwat an nej ai huya. G generalia di ha helia.
For all the young people out there, listen. Continue to dream of cutting salmon on the Yukon, of speaking your language, of tanning hides with loved ones, of becoming an elder and watching the sunset from the riverbank.
Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa adagorandai. Ninjich aradat ha inda treda ji Gwich'in.
Let our native culture guide our thoughts, and we will always have a future to look towards.
Dinjii denoiklo.
This is all that I wrote.
Hai
Thank you very much. Shichit nai go venjik go shoafli. I ju di ha Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa guchit agora in I datak anai. Ju di ha di yinjik and jit agora in datak sa anai. I chan ju dene eslan I datak sa anai. So I'm just inviting up the people who have been working with us on our language over the last over 3 years now to come join us up on the stage, and then also members of the drum group Dine Eslan. When we're thinking about our future and our culture, like I said earlier, it's through the practice of who we are that it grounds and roots within us. And that's where so much of our strength comes for our people. And I'm really grateful to all of those who have been working with us on our language and our culture. And it's hard work, it's a lot of work, but from that becomes that foundation, that root that makes us so strong when the winds and the storms come. We still are able to stand there and face whatever is coming towards our people. And that's what we're working on. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're doing. And so I'm just so grateful for all these members of Dine Eslan, for all the people who've been working with us on our language. And to conclude our speech this morning, I just wanted us to sing a couple of songs. One of the songs is Bikanaja, which is the song that was written after the 1915, when our chiefs and our leaders first stood up to represent our people and fight for our rights to our way of life and who we are. And then the second song that we'll sing is Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa, which is the Caribou Skin Hut song that comes from Arctic Village. That Bikanaja was written by Louis Silas Williams from Tanana. So those are the two songs that we're going to sing to close out our speech, and then we'll hand it back to Brian. And sorry we went a little long, but yeah, it's how it goes sometimes. So appreciate everyone's patience with us too. Oh yeah, everyone should come up and drum and sing with us on these songs. So Bikanaja and Dinjii Zhuh K'yàa, come drum two songs for us to conclude.
I'm getting old for this. Whew. I probably shouldn't eat that slice of cake right before we dance, too. Whew. I just want to thank this group for the keynote they gave. I feel like it's exactly what we needed and really focused on our culture and our language to cover our youth. I don't know what I call us, adults, middle-aged, and then our elders, but just, I'm so proud of this group up here. And as I chose to have them with us, I never could have imagined that the entire speech was in our language. So thank you, Masicho. So I've got a couple of gifts for Taa'ąįį. We've got beaver gloves by Ellen Evans of Rampart, as well as a check for $2,000 that you may or may not share with your family. That's up to you.
We need gas money, Dad.
For our traditional chief, Trimble, we have a beaver hat by Rosemary Wheel of Rampart, as well as a check for $1,000. Masicho. For Naneesh and Shael Lil, we both have beaded necklace by Karina Evans of Ruby. And I don't want to forget, for Mary Rose, we have a framed photo of salmon. I'm sorry we couldn't bring you a real salmon, but we're working on that. Okay, Thank you. Thank you, everyone.